Thank you very much for joining us for this live today. Maybe I'm going to start with, yes, with great pleasure. I'm going to start maybe with a short introduction. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Carol. I am the founder of Parentally, and Parentally is a platform that helps new and future parents find all the care and support they may need from for every stage of their parenthood journey. So from pregnancy to birth, postpartum, and their first years of parenthood. Today we're going to talk about nutrition and what to eat to prepare your body for labor. And our guest is Amélie van der Haar from Goodnesst. Very happy to have you, Amélie. You've been a member and a supporter of Parentally from our very first beginning. So it's really a joy to have you to talk with you today. Maybe you could start by introducing yourself.
Yeah, yes? Sure. So I'm Belgian and I've lived in Amsterdam or near Amsterdam for the past 6 years. I have 3 kids, even though I work a lot with pregnant women. My kids are no babies anymore. My youngest is 8 and my oldest is 13. And so I work as a prenatal nutritionist. And so I help women in the different stages before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and right after. So before, it's really to boost their fertility. Throughout pregnancy is to, well, so that they feel great throughout pregnancy and that they build a strong and healthy baby. And then right after also, we make sure that they're strong enough to start their journey as a mom. So
amazing. Sounds great. I wish I had that when I had my boys.
Me too.
We hear a lot about the importance of nutrition and how it can really help make you feel more energized and healthier during every day of your life, basically, but also during pregnancy. So can nutrition really help you also during labor, to prepare for labor?
Yeah. So nutrition can do a lot for you in preconception and during pregnancy and after, but really now we wanted to zoom in on this part really before labor, and if you have any control to make your body stronger and to have a more efficient labor, maybe a shorter one. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So there are definitely things that you can do, and I think it's fascinating because more and more women now they prepare their labor mentally, which is great. This wasn't the case when I gave birth 13 years ago, so this is already great. But not that many women think about what they can do in terms of nutrition to prepare for labor, and there are really things that you can do. So yeah, maybe first I will talk a little bit about the things that you can do in the build up to labor, and then I really talk about the last 4 weeks more or less. Well, this is when I work with pregnant women, and we see each other regularly. And in the last few weeks before labor, we talk about this. So how they can strengthen their body so that it's, it's ready and stronger for labor. Just like you would do if you're running a marathon, or, if you're training for something very physical. It is super physical labor. So you can also train through nutrition to be stronger. So one of the first thing that I always recommend is hydration. And I think that makes sense, and that's what an athlete would do as well. So you really don't want to be dehydrated before you start, once you get into labor. So that's one thing. So really make sure that you're having your 2 liters of water a day, and you can also hydrate, like have extra hydration through teas, like herbal teas. There's one tea that I recommend also in the last 4 weeks, and it is something that you shouldn't start before week 36, but that is highly recommended in the last 4 weeks, and that is raspberry leaf tea. And so studies have shown that this tea can tone your uterine muscles, so it will make your contractions during labor more effective. So and the same goes after. So once the baby is out, everything has to be contract again. So this raspberry tea will help with that as well. So that is something, you know, to put on your shopping list if you're somewhere, you know, in the 4 weeks before labor. So that is a good one. It's very tasteful as well, and it will also contribute to your hydration. So that's good. Another one is also to be mindful of your iron reserves. So iron goes down anyways during pregnancy, and especially in the late pregnancy. It's partly because your blood volume increases, so the concentration is just lower. But you really want this to be high once you get into labor. Not only because it will give you more strength and energy, but also if you have some blood loss during pregnancy, during labor, sorry, you want to have enough reserves before that. It just, women who are low in iron, they feel very fatigued and they're very tired. So this is really something that you don't want before you start labor. So that's why I always say, like, focus also on your iron. Usually your midwife will check your iron levels throughout your pregnancy. And, you know, I always say, like, if you suspect low iron levels, or anyways, try to first bring it up through food. And if needed, you can supplement as well. And if anybody, I'm not going to go into detail here, but if anybody has questions about how you can increase your iron levels through food, they can just DM me and I can will be happy to answer. Another one you also want before labor is that your skin, the elasticity of your skin is high enough, is good enough. So you really want the skin of the vulva to be able to expand, because that's what it's going to do. And so there are a few things you can do for that. Hydration is important. Vitamin C is also one that increases the elasticity of your skin. So not only for the vulva, but also like in the last 4 weeks, you remember your belly is like blowing up. So you also, to avoid the stretch marks, it is also a very good one. And then another one is also bone broth. So not everybody likes the taste of bone broth, but it has a lot of gelatin and collagen. So that is a good one. If you don't like the taste, you can also take some gelatin powder. So that also contributes to this elasticity. What else? Another one that I always also tell to focus on in the last weeks, and starting week 36, if you haven't before, are probiotics. And that is not really for your benefit. It's really, also because you want a good microbiome once you enter into motherhood. But it is really because it is a gift from you to your baby. It's like the first and the most beautiful gift you will give to your baby. Because when you have a natural birth, part of your gut microbiome will be transferred to your baby. So it will really set the tone for his immunity for the rest of his life. So that you can focus on through taking probiotics, like in supplements, and you can also take like through food, focus on having in yogurt, if you don't like yogurt, sauerkraut, or these fermented vegetables, kimchi, those things you can find usually in these health food stores. So that is one that I recommend as well. I'm just looking here if there was anything. In the especially the week to 2 weeks before your due date, it is also good, just like when you're training for a marathon, is to focus on unrefined carbs. Okay. Because these give you energy. So you don't want the quick energy, you want the one that build up. So I'm thinking about quinoa, sweet potatoes, all these root vegetables, whole rice, that kind of things. So these are all the things that you can add to your diet. Yes. There's one thing that you should limit in the build-up, actually that I recommend limiting throughout pregnancy, but especially to prepare for labor. And probably you already guessed which group that is, but it's sugar. So you should try to limit sugar. And this is not, this is really based on studies. So studies have shown that, you know, from an energy perspective, you know that your energy will be lower if you are on a high sugar diet, but also on pain management. And usually that's the one that really like incentivizes women who are very drawn to sugar. Once they hear this, that it can help with pain management during labor, they're very, you know, motivated to limit their sugar intake. So,
yeah, that's a very good
those are the
reason.
big ones.
But just a quick question about sugar. Would it be any type of sugar or just refined sugar?
Yeah.
What about sugar that is in fruits or everything?
Yeah, no, it's especially refined sugar. So I would never say like limit your fruit intake. Like whole foods, they come packaged, you know, with the fiber, and so it's not going to influence your blood sugar that much. But juiced fruit that I would just be careful with. Yeah, but it's especially the biscuits and cakes and you know, that kind of things. And I know that some pregnant women are like, oh, I can still eat all those because anyway my belly is fat, so nobody's gonna care about it. But try not to do that, and especially think about the pain. It helps reduce the pain, or it increases your pain tolerance actually. So it's good enough reason to limit it, I think.
Yes. Definitely. You gave us a very interesting information, and of course this live is recorded and I will share it after we are done with it, and everyone can find it again in the feed, because there is a lot to to remember. Would you also recommend to eat during labor?
Yeah, that's a good question, and it's hard to answer because every labor is so different. So if you're going into a labor of 4 hours, you will be it will be very quick, you will be overwhelmed, and so you won't have time to eat. If you have a longer labor, I think it makes sense to eat small things that are light, like not heavy, not with lots of fat, but you want the carbs. You want a banana, for instance, or a smoothie, or like even juice. Or I know that in some traditional cultures, they give a whole like just honey to women in labor, just to have this energy boost throughout labor. On the other hand, like you have different phases in labor. The early phase, which is when you start feeling the first contractions, but they're not regular yet, and they're not that painful yet. That is usually when you're still very much in control, and that's when I recommend having these carbs, because what you don't want is like going to the hospital, or you know, if you're giving birth at home, going into active labor without having any food in the past 4 hours. So yeah, that's try to manage it a little bit like that. Also, you know, you can also already pack. Usually you pack your little bag to go to the hospital, or even if it's at home, you have a few things ready. You can already put some granola bars in there or something. Sometimes I recommend also taking coconut water, because you want that hydration. That is very important, and it also gives you some sugar. So yeah, I would say a few bars, like the naked bars, are pretty good for that.
Yes, I know those ones.
Yeah. So those, you know, if you like those, because usually like, and you will see, like nature is so amazing, and usually women know what they have to do. Like if they're tuned into their own body, and if they're well prepared emotionally, usually you know what to do. But it's good to prepare for it and to pack.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And right after birth, is it a good idea also to eat something?
Yeah, because you will have spent a lot of energy. Sorry. So you want that energy back. And also, like just like after a big workout, you want to focus on having protein. Protein is important as well. So in an ideal world, you would have, well, bone broth is very good. It has this protein. It is very warming, soothing. It has a lot of collagens. That is really good if you like that. That is really great after birth or after labor. And otherwise, I would say focus on more the warming things, like the soup. but also like you've done something amazing. So just follow your feelings as well. And if you're craving, I don't know, a white sandwich with jam, which in theory is not the best thing, just do that as well. Like, don't be too strict and follow your instincts as well. And on that, some women are so good with their instincts that some women who have lost quite some blood, they will be craving some steak or some red meat. So yeah, that can also happen. So yeah, that's case by case also.
Yes, that's amazing. Our bodies are amazing. I think like when you are really able to listen to your body, sometimes you're able also to have a feeling of what you need at what time and everything. But thank you very much, Amélie. You gave us very interesting and very helpful information.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else you would like to say, to share before we end this live?
No, I think I've already shared quite some information to process. If there are any questions, people can really DM me and I can be to help. Also, I am giving a free workshop, a webinar on May 16th, so in about a month. So if people are interested in getting more information on prenatal nutrition, then they can follow me on my Instagram and they will see the information about the topic and so on.
Fantastic. I will share all the information on our feed after we finish this live. I will share Amélie's Instagram account as well as her profile page on Parentally, and of course you can contact her directly for more information, and I will also include the information about the webinar in 1 month. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Amélie, it was really great to have you. Thank you very much, and have a nice day everyone. Have a nice weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.